I usually tell students, or sometimes, younger students, first-time students, I tell them a story, actually a personal story, where I was just like them a while ago. And I usually tell them a story that I went to school with one of my buddies who was a big, strong, kind of husky guy. He was probably 6'5", 250, big guy, kind of a linebacker. And right out of high school, the first thing he did is he got a construction job. And he started making good money, and he bought a condo, and he got married, and he bought a great big Chevy truck, and he was kind of living a cool life, when you're like 19 or 20. And my friends and I, we're all going to community college and, working as, waiters or bus boys and things like that. And, it was kind of hard. We kind of envied him because he had all the stuff. And then, over time you lose track of friends and stuff. And anyway, a few years ago, I ran into him at the grocery store, and we kind of caught up to date, and I'd found out that he had actually gotten injured at work, and he had gotten an injury so bad that he can no longer do that construction stuff. So he had to go back to community college, and he was actually doing something with dental assisting at the time because he could no longer do the big, heavy work. And I tell students that I have a lot of other students that come into my office that are around my age, and, their bodies kind of wear out. And I always tell them education is something that can't be taken away from you. People can get divorced. You can have your all sorts of different aspects of your health things taken away from you. But education is something you can always fall back on and rely upon. And I always think of this job may be really neat right now at this age, but is it something that you still want to do a decade in the future, 20 years in the future? And sometimes for certain students, they don't always have that long-term focus. They're always thinking, right now in this kind of instant world where we can communicate instantly and we can put something in the microwave and eat instantly. It's kind of more of an instant gratification. I always tell them, try to think long-term. They're going to college for a lot of different reasons, not necessarily just themselves, but they're going for many different reasons. And I see people come through various phases of their life. I see some reentry adults that maybe have come through anything from a divorce to things, they have work-related injuries and they're having to come back and get retrained. And then I also see, students who are taking courses, like I said, maybe when they're in high school and they're highly motivated and they really want to get ahead. And then some students who just don't exactly know what they want to do. And I have veterans. I always tell people, the world comes through my door, you know what I mean? Because I get people from all over, from all different walks of life. And that's one thing I like working with in the community college world, so to speak, or in the system, because you do get such a wide range of students. And it always interests me who comes into my office.